Welcome to Legacy Collection Chat, a brand new series which aims to provide you with a deep dive into the Mattel Legacy Collection and the origins of this prestigious line. I'm your host for the series, Tom Jurassic, and with me today is the man himself, JC.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, JC. It's good to be doing another series recording together as well.
Absolutely, I can't wait to get started.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So, this is a new series informed by the fact that we know many of you have wanted to hear more from JC directly, especially on the Legacy Collection line, and also other classic items which have been released more recently. In upcoming episodes, we want to take the opportunity to reflect on the breadth and depth of the Legacy Collection, whilst condensing these discussions into short, bite-sized morsels designed to be more digestible. We hope that by producing short episodes, we can plan a whole season of content, bringing you a lot more consistency so you have plenty more of us to listen to. In this episode, we'll introduce our relationship with the Legacy Collection. So JC, what have you bought from the line, and what are some of your standout additions?
Well, Tom, I'm quite pleased with how much I've picked up with regards to the Legacy series. As you know, I tend to pick up kind of classic Jurassic Park pieces. And when the Legacy series came along, I thought, okay, this is great. This is something that is new, but I can collect this. So far I've bought the human figures on their card backs. I've got Grant, Ellie, Muldoon, and Malcolm. I like these because they reminded me of the sort of the Kenner classic figures. I also have the SDCC exclusive Hammond, the Nedry set that came in the Cryo Can, and the Ray Arnold set as well. I have the Isla Nublar Escape set, which included Hammond and Ellie again, with the Visitor Center banner and the two Raptor figures. I also have the Alan Grant Dinosaur Basic Series Assortment box, which included two Raptors, the Gallimimus and Dilophosaurus figure in a Jurassic Park style coloration. And actually, I think the Dilophosaurus was my main reason for getting that box set.
Yeah.
That was through Stephen Ray Morris. So thank you, Stephen Ray Morris of I forgot the podcast.
See Jurassic Right?
Of See Jurassic Right for sending that over. And I also have the Tyrannosaurus Escape Pack with the Ford Explorer and the Timmy figure. Obviously, I've got a soft spot for the night vision goggles, so I had to pick up that set. I also have the Nedry Getaway Pack that includes the Dilophosaurus and the covered Jeep Wrangler. I also have the standalone Jeep Wrangler, which I got very early on in the early days of the Legacy series, which has the exposed passenger section on the back.
Yeah.
I also have the die-cast Island Explorers 5-pack set, which was packaged as part of the Legacy line with the die-cast vehicles. And lastly, I have the Legacy 5 minifigure collection with the Rex and the Brachiosaurus. But I've seen there is another one with the Parasaurolophus in the middle, so I might pick that one up one day. But yeah, that's the extent of my Legacy collection. Quite a few, but it's happened over a long period of time. So whenever something notable comes up in the Legacy series, I will pick it up if it's related to the original Jurassic Park.
Cool. It sounds like you've got actually a lot of stuff that didn't necessarily release in the UK for us as well, which is really cool because obviously those single figure packs and that multi-pack, lots of things that perhaps you've had to be a little bit more on the ball with your collecting to really get a hold of, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the great thing about collecting Jurassic Park now and with the internet is that you're constantly bombarded with images of sets that you can obtain, and they're not always in your country, but because you know they exist, you can use that as a starting point to start looking for it overseas. Yeah. And obviously in this case, Stephen Ray Morris of See Jurassic Right, kindly sent that over. So, there's stuff like that where you've got friends overseas who can help you source the packs that you're after, and it's a great way to collect because you make more friends that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really nice way of looking at it. So obviously you've got quite a bit of the assortment. There is still more out there though, and that will become more prevalent, I'll say. I was going to say prolific, but I feel like prevalent's a better word, over the course of this series as we're recording, and hopefully people listening will see just how many Legacy Collection items we've got. So I did want to ask, is there anything that you're still actively tracking down at the moment, and why are you hunting for it?
Well, from the Legacy series, I'm still looking to get the Bull and Baby Rex from the Lost World from the Legacy line. And I do kick myself a little bit because you made me aware, Tom, that Amazon had it on offer like years ago and it was just a ridiculously low price. So I guess if anyone out there has a spare set, do please send me a message. But that's the only set that I think, looking back, I would have liked to have picked up. There are other dinosaurs in the Legacy line, like the Tiger Stripe Velociraptor and the Pachycephalosaurus, I believe. Things like that I didn't bother picking up because they weren't necessarily from the original film, and I'm primarily a fan of the original Jurassic Park, so I didn't go for too many of the Lost World things, and that's probably why I didn't get the Bull and Baby, but looking back, I think it would have been nice to have got that too.
So for you, is it definitely more that focus on just that 1993 time era then? Because I feel like a lot of what we've seen from Mattel is very much the same, where that seems to be the film they focus on with these classic items, and then the other films kind of, like you say, get a 2-pack here or there, but that's really it. Yeah,
I do tend to think my focus is Jurassic Park, and actually I've kind of got a bit more strict with myself over the years to focus on that. I do like The Lost World 2, and I have a real soft spot for that film. And I was a huge fan and had loads of the toys back in the day. But I think the original film for me holds a real soft spot because it's where it all started, and I feel that is the most heartwarming and well-rounded feeling film for me. So I tend to try and focus on that one. If I'm going to get anything from the Legacy line, it would be stuff that is from the first film, which is why I guess I sought out that Alan Grant pack with the Dilophosaurus, because I was like, okay, well, there's the original Dilophosaurus, and that's my only way of getting that right now, so I'm going to try and get that.
And you made the right decision, because as we will find out in a later episode of this series, the only other Dilophosaurus that was going to look like that never got released. So
oh no!
Now a very, very highly desired version of the Dilophosaurus.
Wow.
Probably the most accurate 3 3/4 inch one we've got.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go. So to round this out, I guess, obviously we've been talking about this series for a while, and then we've mapped it all out, and hopefully when you guys are listening to this episode, if everything has gone according to plan, we should have plenty of other episodes mapped out coming for you, looking at all of the different aspects of the Legacy Collection, from the multi-packs to the dinosaurs to the human figures, and also comparing them to their Kenner counterparts, because obviously you have a lot of those, JC, as well. So from that perspective, obviously you have a little bit more insight than the people listening right now, because you know what's coming up in the future. So what are some of the items that you're most excited to discuss across this series?
I think I'm most excited to discuss set piece figures, so the ones that bring to life moments from the film. I think because in 1993 we didn't really have that, so it's cool to see these sort of tribute packs. Particularly in the case of like the Ray Arnold set, we get a look at kind of an off-screen imagined scene. So that in particular is really, really cool. But just like the Nedry set, you know, with the Jeep Wrangler and the Dilophosaurus, it's these kind of combination packs that would have blown my mind back in 1993. So it's kind of cool to see these figures resurfacing with these, you know, really cool scenarios from the film.
Yeah, I guess that I'm going to throw an extra question at you here, so please don't panic. It's not on the show notes, but we're going to go for it anyway.
Yeah.
What was that like for you back in 2018, just seeing Jurassic having this resurgence where it's on like store shelves in Smith's again, and you have those classic characters, that classic Jeep on a modern day toy shop store shelf? What was that like when we were in that era? Because we'll be there again soon with Dominion around the corner as well.
I think it was really nice. I think part of me felt like it was a natural thing, that it was meant to happen, that there were fans out there for all this time that were waiting for, you know, Jurassic Park stuff. And I think when, you know, Jurassic World came along, it was the perfect opportunity to revive that and to bring the fandom back again. Yeah. So to me, it felt like a natural step, and I'm glad that they went in that direction. Also, it was strangely surreal because there were things like the Brachiosaurus, which, you know, we dreamt of back in 1993. We had a minifigure that came with Tim, I believe, Timmy's Kenner action figure. And with those minifigures, I mean, to give you some example, there was nothing else Jurassic Park at that time. So Jurassic Park was huge. It was really publicized. And then they had the Kenner Toyline come out. And if you couldn't afford the dinosaur toys, you could get one of the action figures maybe, and they would come with the minifigure version of that dinosaur. So I remember that being like a consolation prize for not being able to get the big T-Rex. I had the small baby T-Rex, and that was still an official T-Rex because it had the JP logo on the side. So to me, that was in the same family as this huge T-Rex, and I was like, wow, I've actually got one of those. So to me, to see stuff like the Brachiosaurus all these years later, which was a toy we only dreamt of, was amazing and surreal. Like to think it had been so long, and yet finally here it is, realised and done really well. So there was a bit of a dreamlike quality to the whole resurgence of Jurassic Park.
I'm glad you mentioned that Brachiosaurus. We have an episode coming up titled Towering Titans.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and in that episode we're going to talk about that item, and particularly the box art as well, because I'm very interested in seeing your take on that and how it felt seeing that scene on store shelves. So we'll definitely come back to that.
Awesome.
With all of that said, that's really it for our opening episode here. We wanted to keep this a little bit shorter, kind of introduce you to the series, give you a feel for what the discussion's going to be like. And we're really excited to use this as an opportunity to bridge the gap between the Mattel figures, the Kenner figures, talk about the legacy of this franchise and really why these collectibles persevere and why they find a way in many senses to be so appealing to collectors today as well. So stay tuned to Jurassic Collectibles across social media, and we will have plenty more episodes of Legacy Collection chat throughout 2022, especially as we approach the release of Jurassic World Dominion, and no doubt plenty more additions to the Legacy Collection lineup as well. So you can find me at Tom Jurassic across social media, and JC, why don't you sign off?
So guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, rate, comment and subscribe. We hope you enjoy all our episodes of Legacy Chat, only here on Jurassic Collectibles.